Okay, this has had 3 minutes. Let's see how it's getting on. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever applies to you. I hope you're well and welcome to Big Foodie Geek, and I am the Big Foodie Geek. I'm very excited to be back filming videos, and I am very excited for this video in particular because this is one I've wanted to do since well before I stopped filming back in 2021. This is one that I had on my list to film way back then, but obviously I didn't because I stopped filming and then life has been happening. But I'm very excited for this because it's a gadget video, or technically in an appliances video, whatever. It is something I wanted to get my hands on for quite some time, and because it was my birthday last week, I finally treated myself to one of these, and we're going to get to give it a go right now. I want to see how this works because it is, as you may have guessed from the board behind me, a pizza oven, or more to the point, an electric pizza oven. So it's not one that you have to keep outside, it's one that you can use anytime, anywhere, as long as you've got some electric and the space for it. But I've wanted to get my hands on one of these for quite some time. There's usually a few different makes rolling around. I have gone for Ariete, something like that. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but this is the one I've gone for. It's cost about £109, I think, if I recall correctly. So, it's not super expensive, but obviously it's not cheap either. But I want to see if this does what it says. It says pizza in 4 minuti, 4 minutes. So we shall see. And it's supposed to do not only fresh pizza, but frozen pizza as well. So we're going to put it through its paces. We're going to see how it does. We're going to see if it does do frozen pizza, because, frozen pizza can be all right sometimes. I'm going to put this down because it's quite heavy. As I was saying, frozen pizza can be good sometimes. If you just want pizza, you come in from work, you're tired, you just whack it in the oven and it's there, it's done. But if we can take frozen pizza and kick it up a notch by using this thing, then brilliant, fantastic. And if it can be done quicker, even better. But obviously I want to put it through its paces with some fresh pizza as well. Fresh dough, nice sauce, simple toppings. I'm not going to go extravagant. I want to see it do the basics. I want to see it do a great margherita pizza, because if you do a margherita pizza well, it's still one of the best kinds of pizzas. You don't need much else on it. So we're going to see if it does that as well. And I'm also going to try some Doughballs in it just to see if it will do those as well. And if it does all those things well, then maybe I'll do another video and see if it does things other than pizza. But for now, we're going to test it on pizza. So let's delve into the box and see what we've got in there.
But first,
before we actually delve into the box, check out what I got for the kitchen. Because I had all that space in the middle of my kitchen, I decided to get myself one of these. I've always wanted a kitchen island in the middle of my kitchen, and obviously I can't get one of those here because it's not my place, I rent it. But I thought this will do the job nicely. It is a little kitchen island. It was built from flat pack and I love it. It is a stainless steel top. It's got drawers, it's got cupboards, it's got wheels so I can move it around. Little handle there, and it is just really nice little space in the middle of the kitchen, which is great as well because it is right above the light. So I can get extra light in here because sometimes it gets a bit dark around the edges. But yeah, I thought I'd just show that because it wasn't in here when I showed you what the kitchen was like the last time. Anyway, on to the unboxing. Right, I figured this was the best angle to do it from. So let's see what's in the box. So first of all, some instructions for our pizza maker. I imagine it's probably going to be a mix of different languages, starting off with Italian because that makes sense. No, really, it does make sense. It's an Italian make, and pizza is predominantly Italian, so why shouldn't Italy be first? Safeguards. Please place oven on a worktop capable of withstanding temperature of at least 90 degrees C. Should be able to. Preheat the oven at highest temperature for about 10 minutes, so I'll have to do that. Then it tells us for a frozen pizza, bake for 2 to 3 minutes. Recommend to take pizza out of the freezer 20 to 30 minutes before putting it in the oven. Well, that's a downside. Oh look, mum and dad are calling. Right, good timing. Right, sorry, parents. They'll always ring at the most awkward time. So let's have a look at the thing itself. Oh look, it's got a little paddle with it for, 2 little paddles just for getting under your pizza. That's pretty nifty. I have got my own one right over there. See, with a handle and everything, but those will be handy as well. And here is the machine itself with a very Mickey Mouse aesthetic to it. These kind of look like ears, and with the red. Yeah, it's very Mickey Mouse. Don't see Disney. And here we have the plate. Some more probably instructions and warnings, but this is the plate where we will be putting our pizza. It is about 11.5 inches across, or let's say 11, just to be on the safe side, so I know how big to make my pizza. But I think an 11-inch pizza will be plenty, don't you? Cue loads of people saying no, but then it's got the heating element up here as well, so it should heat from underneath and above as well. So I think it's different temperatures for above and below. Fingers crossed this will give us a nice even bake of that pizza and get really nice crispy pizza. But we'll see, this is what we're here to do. We are here to test it. Other than that, there's not much to it. Got a couple of dials. I think that is for heat. And we've got a timer here which goes up to 30 minutes. But again, if you're cooking pizza, you're not gonna need 30 minutes. It says 4 minutes, so I'm gonna hold it to 4 minutes. So there's the temperature dial. There's the timer dial, and that's pretty much it. So I'm going to find a place to put this, get it preheated, and then I'm going to kick it off with the frozen pizza and see how we get on with that. Right, you have to forgive the lighting and my shadow and stuff being in the way. This is the best place to put it, in the kitchen. I've got it plugged in. I'm going to turn the temperature up to, well, I'm going to put it on max because, quite frankly, max seems like the thing to do because you need a lot of heat for pizza. And even though I'm doing the frozen pizza, it's still pizza. So let's give it max, and I'm not going to set the timer or anything. So the light's on. I'm guessing this will go off, but I can hear that must be it heating up. Be interesting. Interesting noises. I'm going to give it a little bit of time just to let it preheat, and we'll see how we go from there. While that's preheating and making some noises, this is the pizza I'm going to be cooking. It is a thin and crispy double pepperoni pizza from Sainsbury's. It cost £1. I don't think you can get much cheaper than that for pizza. So if it can do a good job, with a £1 pizza, I'm hoping it'll do a good job with a proper pizza. I say proper pizza, it's still pizza, but you know. And this says to oven cook from frozen for 15 to 17 minutes. So if we can do this in 2 or 3 like it says, and that's a massive reduction. But we'll see, because it has said to take this out of the freezer 20 to 30 minutes before. It has not been out of the freezer 20 to 30 minutes before, so I might need to give it longer. But even if it's just like 5 or 6 minutes, that's still going to be a lot. But I'll see how I get on. Okay, the light's just gone off, which means it is up to temperature. That is on max temperature, and I can feel with just my hand over it, there's a lot of heat coming off of that. That probably took about, I'd say probably about roughly 10 minutes to come up to that sort of temperature. But if it is max heat, yeah, if it is a very high heat, it's going to take a bit of time. But we can now try out getting our frozen pizza onto here. So I'm going to lift up this. Oh, I can feel the heat coming off of that. I'm going to be very, very, very careful. And I just realized with these paddles, you've got 2 of them, so you can go basically like this and drop that on there, so you can hear that. Oh, it says not to get the cheese on there. Don't get the cheese on there. Oh no, too late. Well, that's going to be a problem, but I'm going to get this down and I'm going to give that 2 minutes. Computer, set a timer for 2 minutes. 2 minutes, starting now. I thought I'll start off with 2 minutes. We can check it and then see how we get on. Right, let's see after 2 minutes how this is doing. Whoa, that is looking pretty crispy around the edge. Don't know if the top's done yet. I wonder if it can do with another minute. Let's do another minute.
A horrible decision, really.
Right, honestly, I think not even another minute. Whoa, okay. That is a little bit too much done around the edges. That's probably my fault. I probably didn't even need to give it another minute. Probably not even 30 seconds would have done. Maybe even another 10 or 20. It is very hot. So I'm going to get this off. I mean, oh no, is that stuck? Is that stuck? It's not stuck, I just need to get under it. Okay, it is a little bit done. That is not ideal, but quite frankly, I'm not going to be using this for frozen pizza all the time. I want this for proper pizza, so as long as it does that, okay. Well, that's the main thing. Maybe I didn't even need it on full heat, to be honest. Perhaps I could have done it on number 3 or something like that. So maybe that's on me. Right, here's my overly cooked pizza. And yeah, that is definitely overdone on the bottom. I did not need to either give it that long or have it on that higher temperature. So that's good to know. Still, it is what it is. Live and learn. This is why we started it off on frozen pizza. I mean, the top looks all right. It's just the underneath. Still, anyway, I'm gonna taste this quickly. You know, despite being burnt on the bottom, That actually tastes all right. I can't taste the burn. The top tastes all right. At the end of the day, it's still frozen pizza. This is not what I want the thing for. So, yeah, I'm not going to call that a success or anything, but it might be if I had lowered the temperature or even not given it as long. Perhaps it just needed like number 3. That might have been all right. Really, the main test is going to be for proper pizza. So first test, not exactly a success, could be user error, but I'm going to test it again now on some dough balls, which would usually go in the oven. So we're going to see how we get on with those. I actually just finished off that slice, and one thing I will say about that, it did cook it all the way through. It wasn't like the base was overly done and the top was still frozen or anything like that. It was hot and it cooked it quickly. That was 2.5 minutes for something that said 15 to 17 minutes. So it is much, much quicker. It's just about getting the timing and temperature right. So not a complete failure, but not a complete success either. Okay, this is up to temperature again. I've got this on setting 4 this time. I'm bringing it down a bit. And this time we're trying out these dough balls. These are Pizza Express dough balls. They are like garlic and cheese ones, so they've got a load of cheese over the top. And I'm gonna give these about 3 minutes on that 4 setting and see how we get on, because usually it said on the packaging, these take about 20 minutes in a 180-degree fan oven. So I want to see if these will go in here on this, like this, and see how we get on with cooking these and see if these cook any quicker in this. I managed to get some of the burning off, but not all of it. That can stay there as a reminder to me to not test new appliances on the highest setting on the first go. Yikes. So pop this in here. Hopefully that will fit under there. That's not going to fit under there, Matthew. That is not going to fit under there. Right, I quickly transferred these onto this dish because this is lower and hopefully it won't touch the top of those, because that's what was going to happen. So on there, down with this. That feels better. I can tell it's not touching the top. So what did I say? 3 minutes or 4 minutes? 3 minutes on this setting and see how we get on with those dough balls. Right, it's been 3 minutes, so let's see how these are doing. Whoa, okay. That is just about right, actually. Yes, there is some charring there, but not to the extent where I feel like that is a detriment to it. So 3 minutes on that number 4 setting looks like plenty for those dough balls. So I'm gonna give those a moment to cool down. I'm gonna get these off of here. I'm still gonna use this because, quite frankly, I don't want to scald myself. So I'm gonna give these a few minutes to cool down so they're not molten hot, and then I'll try one and see whether they're actually cooked through rather than just cooked on the top. Right, these have had probably about a minute or so to cool down, probably not long enough really, but I am trying to get this all filmed before the light goes because it is winter and I've probably got about another hour or so light. So I don't want to wait around. I'm just going to dip this into some of the garlicky cheesy sauce that has now been created, and let's give it a taste. I'm not going to point the camera at me just to eat this. Also, I might burn myself, so you don't need to see me burning the inside of my mouth. Silly bean. Right. Actually, that is about the right temperature. Still hot, but not scalding, and delicious. Yeah, absolutely delicious. Cheesy, garlicky, buttery, and those dough balls are cooked through nicely. Yes, they are cooked more on top, but they are charred rather than burnt, I would say. So I am happy with those. That is better. That is better. Yes, I'm going to eat another one. Yeah, much better. So I could have probably done those on setting number 3 for a little bit longer, but to be honest, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Yeah, happy with that. Much better than the frozen pizza. Okay, last, but by no means least, we have got fresh pizza. So I am taking some shortcuts today. I am not going to be making my dough from scratch or anything like that. I've got some pre-made dough, some pre-made sauce, but it's still going to be a tasty pizza because they are both very good quality ingredients. I'm just taking some shortcuts because, quite frankly, if this goes horribly wrong, then I don't want to have spent ages making dough and making sauce and stuff like that for me to have messed up this fresh pizza. So that's why I'm using just regular ingredients, stuff that you can buy in the shops, but it should still make a very nice fresh pizza. If you do want to see me make actual fresh pizza dough and stuff like that, I've got a video on how to make pizza 3 different ways at 3 different skill levels. So you can go back and watch that. I'll link it at the end of the video or something like that. But today, shortcuts. So first I'm throwing down some semolina because that helps with giving it a crispy base and also stops your pizza from sticking to surfaces, at least to a certain point. I don't know how much to throw down. That'll do. And I've got a decent quality frozen dough here. which is obviously defrosted now. I'm going to roll this out because I don't have the skill to do this by hand. Okay, I want this at about 11, there we go, about 11 inches. That is about 11 inches that way, and about 11 inches that way. Is he though? Not perfectly round, but we're not going for perfect today. So I don't think you can get very, very big, massive pizzas in this thing, but more like individual pizzas, which is kind of what you want really. Get some of that semolina on the bottom, stop it from sticking any further. Then I'm gonna get this base onto my 2 paddles, and then I can transfer that easily onto the pizza. But I want to do that before I get my sauce and my toppings on it. Got some pizza sauce here, but nice quality pizza sauce. Tomato, basil, all the stuff that you want. Usually I would make my own, but not today. So let's get some of that on there. Don't want loads and loads of sauce because otherwise I will just drown it and I won't get a crispy pizza. One quick battery change later, I'm getting some grated mozzarella onto here. Again, I am just using some stuff out of a packet today and just a few leaves of fresh basil as well, because basil and pizza go together marvelously. And that'll do. I'm not going overboard. I just want to get this cooked and see how well it cooks the pizza. Then another day I can always try out and go a little bit further. But today we're just doing it like this. So I've kept this on the 4 setting. That seemed to work well for the dough balls. So I'm going to keep that for this pizza and see how we get on with that. Because quite frankly, I'm scared of the top setting now. So let's keep it at number 4. Right, let's pop that on. Oh, I could have gone way bigger with that. My measurements were off, but that's fine. I'm just trying to see how it goes this time. So down with that. Let's give this 3 minutes and see how it does. Okay, this has had 3 minutes. Let's see how it's getting on. Oh, look at that. That looks very nice. That looks very, very nice indeed. That looks great. I might regret this, but I'm just gonna give it another 10 or 20 seconds just to give that top a little bit more bubbliness. Okay, that was another 20 seconds. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's bubbly. That looks good. That is very, very nice. That looks great. I'm not gonna play with fire, quite literally, probably. I am gonna get this off and I'm gonna give it a taste once it's cooled down, because that looks volcanic. Can we get under here? Yes, we can. It's not stuck. Fantastic. Oh, there we go. Oh. In the end, things turned out well. I'm gonna get away from that heat. Oh, hot. Right, this has had a minute or so to cool down so I can handle it. So listen to the underneath of that. That is cooked very, very nicely, baked very, very nicely. I always wonder, can I tip this up? Yeah, look at that. That is absolutely perfect. That is wonderful. I am very, very happy with that, especially considering how the frozen pizza turned out. But that's why we started with the frozen pizza. Right, in with the pizza cutter. Oh, that cuts very nicely. So I'm going to get this onto a plate and I'm going to taste this on camera because, you know, it's the finale. We'll wrap up the video. That has come out very, very well, especially when you consider how the frozen pizza came out. So we're ending on a high. At least I hope we're ending on a high, because hopefully that'll taste great. There we go. There is our freshly made pizza cooked in our electric pizza oven, which in the end worked great. It worked great on the dough balls. It worked great on this pizza, at least from looks for sure. Didn't work so great on the frozen pizza. That may have been user error. Maybe I should not have put it on maximum heat for however long I did, or even give it that little bit longer, because yeah, that did not go well. But lesson learned, if you want to get one of these, then basically don't do what I did on that frozen pizza. But let's try this. I really want to try this because it smells fantastic, looks fantastic. Hopefully it will taste fantastic as well. So here we go, margarita pizza. Oh, that is fantastic. That is so good. That tastes amazing. That tastes fantastic. That is one of the nicest tasting margarita pizzas I've made at home. And I think that is all down to the fact that that base is cooked like so well, and it's cooked right. Just look at that, look at that. Look at that cheese pour as well. Oh yeah, so good. I am very happy with that. Oh, great. Well, there you go. Electric pizza oven is great. Don't use it for frozen pizza. There's no point in using it for frozen pizza. If you've got a frozen pizza, just whack it in the oven, don't risk it. But if you're making fresh pizza at home and you want it done in like 3 minutes, there you go. That machine did the job. I am very happy with that. Very happy with that in the end. Obviously, I was very worried after that frozen pizza because, yeah, it had scorched the base. I was worried, oh no, it's like the pizza going to get stuck. Frozen pizza just needs to be in the oven, but for fresh pizza, I am going to be using that a lot. So that is going to stay out on my work surface and get a lot of use because that is great. Yeah, fantastic. I'm well chuffed with that. Yeah, what more can you say? That was definitely worth waiting for. Yeah, I wanted one of those for the last couple of years. And in the end, it was worth it. It was definitely worth it. And yeah, I am going to be using that a lot, like I said. I might try out some shorts, YouTube shorts, not put on some shorts because it's far too cold for that. But I do want to start getting some short videos going. So maybe I'll do some shorts of just how pizzas come out in that using completely fresh ingredients, ones that I've made, using various toppings and things like that. But for that margarita pizza, that was so good. That was so good. I'm going in for another bit. Listen to that sound, or don't if you hate the sound of people eating. Right, well, I'm going to class that as a resounding success with the caveat of the frozen pizza. I'm going to get everything cleared up and then I'm going to go off and finish my pizza and my dough balls because they are fantastic. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you found it useful. I hope you found it insightful. And if you decide to get one of those, then I got that on Amazon. I said it was about £109. I think there's a couple other makes, but they're all that kind of like big red machine. That's gotta be canned! With very little variation between them. So I don't think it matters too much which one you go for, but the Ariete, it's good. It's good, just don't use it for frozen pizza. So again, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell to find out when new videos are going up because they are going up again. And I will see you next time on Big Foodie Geek. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye. Last but by no means least. That's what you want to say, Matthew. So, God, Matthew, come on, get it together. So last but by okay, I'm broken. Okay, last but by my God, can't you say no means? By no means can I say no means, apparently.